we will provide a detailed explanation of the 26th verse from Chapter 1, Prathamopadesha, or Rasamarana, of the Rasaratnakara Rasayankhand. Authored by the highly revered Sri Nityanatha Siddha, this specific section of the text, well, it's so much more than just ancient poetry. It's literally a meticulously documented manual of early material science and metallurgy. Today, we're going to unpack the whole shebang, the science, the underlying philosophy, and the exact procedural steps hidden right within this single profound verse. Okay, let's dive right into this specific page of the ancient text. If you look down in the bottom right corner, we find our target verse. It's under the heading Paradhamarana Vidi. Now, that translates to the method of processing or literally killing mercury to remove its toxicity. We're treating this page like a historical puzzle just waiting to be decoded. In the context of Rasa Shastra or Indian alchemy, this is exactly where the theory meets the crucible. Now, what's truly fascinating here is the poetic structure itself. We're looking at the exact original Sanskrit verse, which, believe it or not, actually functions as a highly specific ancient chemical recipe. The Anvaya, or the prose order for understanding this, dictates a very precise sequence. First, we take the prepared mercury. Then we gradually digest equal parts of gold into it, add equal parts of sulfur, and finally process the whole thing with specific medicinal liquids. It's essentially a masterclass in concise scientific notation, right from antiquity. To really grasp the literal meaning, we've got to perform a padacheda, a word segmentation. We're mapping these ancient Sanskrit terms directly to their tangible physical ingredients. Breaking it down, swarnam is gold, samamsham means equal parts, gandhakam is sulfur, and divya shadi dreve hai refers to divine medicinal liquids. Doing this completely strips away the mystique, doesn't it? It just reveals the exact inventory of our historical laboratory. So, here's the crucial point. While verse 26 lists what to add, it actually builds upon the preceding verse, targeting the processing of mercury, known as rasandra or parada. Historically, mercury sat at the absolute center of Rasashastra alchemy. But from a classical toxicological perspective, raw mercury was considered highly volatile and extremely toxic. The entire goal here, this marana process, is to transform this pure liquid metal into a stable, non-toxic, and bioavailable compound that can actually be safely used for medicine. Let's look a bit closer at the instruction for swarna, or gold. The noble metal category is absolutely essential here. Notice how the text explicitly uses the word kramena. That dictates that this gold must be gradually and meticulously amalgamated into the base liquid mercury. And it's not just this text. Other classical texts like the Rasarnava and Ayurveda Prakasha completely echo this technique. They emphasize that gold acts to stabilize the mercury and enhance its therapeutic properties, creating this highly potent synergistic compound. Following the gold, the historical practitioner is instructed to add gandhaka, or sulfur. Sulfur falls into the classical, non-metal or mineral category, and it acts as the crucial chemical catalyst. Modern chemistry explains this beautifully, actually. Sulfur binds with mercury to form mercuric sulfide, which is a highly stable and inert compound. So this ancient step, it's essentially early chemical engineering, neutralizing the toxicity of the heavy metals. And this next part brilliantly illustrates the fusion of disciplines in the text. We have inorganic metals and minerals strictly processed using organic botanical plant juices. The divya, ashada, drava are these specific herbal extracts. In the lab, the mixture of metals is triturated, meaning it's ground continuously with these juices. This adds organic molecules right into the metallic mix. It's a process that modern researchers often compare directly to the green synthesis of nanoparticles. How amazing is that? If we visualize the word samamsham from the text, it reveals a very precise equal parts ratio. We're talking 1 part mercury, 1 part gold, and 1 part sulfur. This is the exact quantity mandated for the combination, which totally proves this wasn't just abstract philosophy. No, it was measured quantitative early chemistry. Even the dosage for the final medicine was equally precise, often measured out in tiny fractions of a seed's weight. All of this builds into a really clear procedural laboratory flow. It translates the ancient prose into 4 distinct chronological steps. But it doesn't stop there. Once these 4 preparation steps are complete, the resulting paste undergoes puta, or calcination. This is a highly controlled, fire-based processing known as Agni Samskara. The mixture is placed in sealed earthen crucibles and subjected to very specific temperatures to finalize the chemical transformation. According to classical claims found across texts like Rasendra Chudamani and Rasahridaya Tantra,
The ultimate goal of these transformations, or samskaras, was to neutralize toxic properties and completely alter the physical state of the elements. It's fascinating because, this wasn't just physical. It required strict mental purification and sometimes even a method of atonement, or prayaschitta, by the alchemists themselves. And for the patient, ailments were treated alongside strict dietary guidelines known as pacha. This specifically emphasized simple, grounding foods like mungyusha, a lentil soup, and odan, which is boiled rice, to really support the body while taking these heavy metal formulations.
By isolating just this single verse from the broader Rasaratnakara, we can clearly see just how rigorous and systematic the ancient Indian alchemical tradition was documented. I mean, if you search Google Scholar or PubMed today using keywords related to Rasa Shastra and modern chemistry, you'll see review articles continually investigating these classical claims. Modern scientific evidence increasingly recognizes that these ancient processes, using intense heat and botanical trituration, were actually early, incredibly sophisticated methods for creating therapeutic, metal-based nanoparticles.
So, what does this all mean? It leaves us with a fascinating final thought. When we look past the poetry, the meticulous structure of these ancient texts reveals deeply analytical minds that absolutely paved the way for early materials science. The big takeaway here is that historical practices often hold foundational scientific principles that are only now being fully understood by modern nanotechnology and toxicology. For sure, there are still many topics within texts like the Vabhaprakasha and Rasaratnakara requiring further research, bridging ancient wisdom with contemporary science. On behalf of the Vedmata AI family, we humbly request that if you found our presentation informative, please share our video widely so that authentic knowledge from Indian Vedic texts can reach the masses. Let us all come together to participate in this Gyan Yagna, sacrificial offering of knowledge. Har Har